East LA, and then the West End coming away from DeSoto. Northbound, it was the almost every morning homeless encampment fire reporter on Silver Lake, so it's slow up that way. Southbound, pretty much Hollywood Boulevard down, even the South 5 coming out towards the 110. It's slow going, but no major crashes to warn you about. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the sky.
You're going to find this trouble spot through Cerritos on the 91 westbound before Artesia Boulevard. The crash investigation has the 2 right lanes shut down. Solid ride from Beach. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
We all have wished at one time or another if we could just do 2 things at the same time. Well, if you're about to refinance or purchase a new home, here are 2 things you should absolutely do at the same time. Apply with at least 2 lenders. Mark Tice here from HMS Capital. Having 2 loans processed at the same time accomplishes a couple of important things. First, it maintains continuing competition for you, the customer, right up to the finish line. This results in a lower interest rate that saves you money. Second, it improves your chances of a successful transaction by eliminating the dependence on a single lender. HMS Capital requires no advance fees to apply. There's no appraisal fee and no credit fee. With our razor-sharp interest rates, we are completely confident that no matter how many lenders you apply with, we will win your business. So call HMS Capital today and let us show you how doing 2 things at once really can save you money. Call HMS Capital at 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. That's 833-255-5698. Or go to hmscapital.com.
Best Capital Funding NMLS number 303222 in California. DBO Finance Lenders Law License 60DBO 37652. Doing business as HMS Capital.
833-255-5698.
SoCal weather from KFI. Looks like it's going to be a partly cloudy day today. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s to the mid-70s. Couple of degrees warmer with more sunshine tomorrow. Warming it up even more into the low 80s by Thursday. And then by Friday, we could see highs in the upper 80s and even eke out a 100 by next week. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
I'm Walker Bueller. I've made a lot of throws in my career, but the most important one is when I'm throwing my trash into the can. Because litter doesn't just make LA look bad. It threatens our wildlife, endangers our environment, and can even clog our storm drains. Join me and keep LA County clean. Don't waste beautiful, throw away your trash, and learn more about keeping our water healthy and litter-free at waterforla.com.
Summer is here and it is getting hot.
Hey, you know what else is hot? The money that I'm saving with SolarMax technology.
Without upfront costs?
Yeah, that's because SolarMax does everything themselves under one roof right here in Southern California. Exceptional quality control and no middleman.
Right now, SolarMax is only $69.98 a month, which includes a solar panel system and a home battery, and an APR as low as 0.99%. This offer expires June 30th.
Dial pound 250 on your cell and say SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSLB number 97208.
Have you been putting off life insurance for a while? With the long application process, medical exams, and blood tests, it's no wonder you put it off. It can seem so confusing, expensive, and time-consuming. But Ethos is a new way to buy life insurance. Ethos is built with you in mind. Instead of a medical exam, you only have to answer a few health questions. Our application is 100% online and can be done in about 10 minutes. You might even get same-day coverage. At Ethos, we match you with the right policy and the right price from top-rated carriers, with no medical exams and no blood tests. Now you can spend less time sorting through confusing paperwork and more time with the loved ones you want to protect. Go to ethoslife.com today to apply in minutes. That's ethoslife.com. Ethos Technologies, Inc. operates in some states as Ethos Life Insurance Services. Not available in all states.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Gary and Shannon, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart radio app in for handle on this Tuesday, June 8th, otherwise known as Slap a French President Day. Did you see that?
Yes.
Emmanuel Macron was doing an event, and I think it was the southern part of France, and he was coming off of a bus or something like that and walking over to sort of where the barriers are, and he was going to glad hand and shake hands and et cetera, and somebody in a very French way, slapped him in the face.
It was just a slap.
I love that little... what was that? What does that sound? Is that a French guy? Or French? Anyway, he's the president of France, so he's got security. They usher him away. They tackled the guy who slapped him, and I think they arrested 2 people. Was what I saw on social media, but he got slapped right and smack in the face.
We have chronicled what's going on at Venice Beach here on KFI for months, if not years. And the latest report was that Venice Beach residents say they are terrified of going out after dark. Could you imagine that? You finish up dinner, you and your wife want to take a walk after dinner, and you can't because you're terrified. I mean, that's third world country stuff. They say there's been increasing violence among the homeless community that have set up camp on the boardwalk. Fistfights occur several times a day. Fires, stabbings, commonplace. Violent robberies are up 177% from last year. 177%. They have signed an open letter to city and county officials, hundreds of residents have, begging for them to help. Homelessness there has increased by 50% in 5 years.
And I don't know what the answer would be necessarily, but Sheriff Villanueva is at least saying, listen, we're not constrained by the same politicians that the LAPD would be constrained by. So he actually calls a couple of them out by name. But bright and early this morning, they went out and did their job.
Our host team, which is a homeless outreach service team, they're going to be there tomorrow morning, bright and early. They're going to start interfacing with the homeless, start doing their assessments, and figuring out where everybody is in their transition from being homeless to being housed.
Now listen, he's talking about clearing the Venice Beach boardwalk by July 4th. That's what Sheriff Villanueva wants to do. And outside of what people are thinking, like, oh, they're just going to be heavy-handed law enforcement officers coming through and kicking people out and taking their stuff. Do you listen to he's using the right language here, right? I mean, the people who would be upset most by this, listen to this language. He's using the correct language. He's talking about where everybody is in their transition from being homeless to being housed. That's the exact thing that people want to hear who are advocating for those people who are living on the streets. The question is, what kind of thing can he actually do?
I don't understand why no one's come up with the idea to throw a bunch of private money at this problem. Hell, public money. We're already spending a ridiculous amount when it comes to bond measures on the homelessness issue. But now we're not seeing any improvement. It's getting worse. What you're doing is not working. You can't close down the state hospitals and just think that the problem's going to go away. You can't close down prisons and let everybody out and think crime is going to go away. These are not logistical, or there's no logic to that argument. It's not reality. I don't know why we're not throwing a bunch of private money at the problem, opening up places where you can triage the situation. There is a sector of the homeless that need housing, and that it's just a money thing. There's a sector that have drug or alcohol problems. There's a sector that has mental problems, has hallucinations, like to be outside, don't tell them what to do, don't put them in a box. And then there's a section that maybe have check a couple of those boxes, or maybe all of the boxes, right? But why can't we triage the situation in several different buildings where you have a floor for the people who need treatment from alcohol or drugs, you have a floor for the people who just needed affordable housing, you have humane people who work in these places that are not institutions, that are well run, and there's boards of people that are do-gooders that are not in government that oversee this, and the people that donate the private money have a role here. I mean, we have so much money in California and so many people throwing it around. Why not make it work for the huge problem that has crippled us for so long?
It seems to me like one of the basic things, you used the word triage a couple times. I don't know if anybody has a great mental picture of who makes up the population of urban camping enthusiasts in Los Angeles. Because your point of there are people who are out on the street legitimately because the cost of housing is high. I personally believe that is a small number of people, for example, living on Venice Beach in a nasty old tent, but that there are also people out there for health issues, people who choose to live feral, people who have struggled with drugs and alcohol or mental issues. We need a better pick. We need a good Venn diagram that shows how big each of those circles is, and then where they cross, where there is some crossover, and how to treat specifically those people.
Mike Bonin's idea that it's just because LA is expensive to live in is ridiculous. Now, there are people that can't afford it. We talk every year when we talk about Caterina's Club and Bruno and what he does in Orange County and elsewhere about the families that can't put together first and last month's rent. I get it. Like, that's a hard thing to do when you're scraping by, and that are living in those motels or whatever. But that is a segment, but it's not the biggest segment of the population. And the fact that the city lawmakers in Los Angeles continue to peddle that narrative does not do any service to the problem.
Listen,
you can't put your head in the sand and not realize that mental health issues need to be addressed.
When Mitch O'Farrell caught a bunch of flack for cleaning out Echo Park, he kind of took it. He withstood those slings and arrows, and Echo Park is now usable today. If Sheriff Villanueva can clear the Venice Boardwalk by July 4th, can you imagine the incredible goodwill that he would get from people in Venice and people on the west side? That this guy who, listen, for all intents and purposes, was criticized when he won the position of sheriff. We criticized him. This is an incredibly strong, powerful move for him, even though there are people who are going to say that the sheriff is overstepping his bounds. This is one of those things where he says, listen, some people say it's not your jurisdiction, the very same people that are not getting the job done, and if I'm going to embarrass them, so be it. He doesn't give two rips about that, and I think that's a fantastic... It's about time somebody takes a position like that.
Right. All right, coming up next, you love accessories.
I am accessorized to the nth degree today.
Well,
I have a wedding ring on. That's as...
Yeah, you're not a big accessory guy. But you might adopt a bracelet. Because you might want to signal what your boundaries are.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll talk about it when we come back. It's a new pandemic-era accessory. Gary and Shannon will continue. In for Bill Handel and Jennifer Jones-Lee has the news.
LA Metro officials have started an investigation into videos on social media that show a boy slapping unsuspecting train passengers in the head. The videos first appeared on Instagram last week. A record-breaking heat wave is headed for more than 24 million people. Communities from Texas to the Northern Plains to New England are under a heat advisory. And Bill Nye, the science guy, will speak at a congressional hearing today on climate change and the implications for national security. We've got a crash on the 210 we'll look at again with the KFI in the sky next.
Hey, if you want to sell your house or condo fast and easy, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy your home as is for cash. With Seller's Advantage, there are no realtor fees or commissions, no escrow fees. No repairs needed. No open houses. No strangers walking through your home. They buy your house or condo for cash. David and Doug from Seller's Advantage just bought a house from one of our KFI listeners. The owner wanted to sell the house. He met with a couple of real estate agents, and then he met with Seller's Advantage. He compared the numbers. Well, he went with Seller's Advantage. Smart KFI listener. He ended up with the same money, same bottom line, and no repairs, no headaches, no open houses, no hassle. He says working with Seller's Advantage was the easiest real estate transaction he has ever completed. If you're considering selling your home, call Seller's Advantage and see how much your home is worth. BRE number 01961658. Call now for your free quote. Call 888-321-AS-IS. Call 888-321-AS-IS. That's 888-321-AS-IS. Or go to sellersadvantage.com.
Mattress Firm's best Memorial Day sale ever has been extended for a limited time. Shop and save up to $500 on top-rated mattress brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your $6.99 mattress purchase.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy with highs mid-60s to the mid-70s. This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We've got a crash on the 210.
It's in Glendora, 210 eastbound before Sunflower. 2 right lanes are blocked, and they have been for the last half hour or so. So you're looking at lots of pressure for that drive from about Vernon. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperlawyer.com. Jeff Law, wreck on the 405.
Yeah, real busy spot now in West LA if you're coming through this moment of pass. It's the usual stuff for the 405. Once you get past Sunset, things will improve a little bit, but the Wilshire off-ramp now, South 405, actually to westbound Wilshire, right at the end of that, there's a lot of activity. There was a problem on the ramp, so just be careful approaching. Northbound into the San Fernando Valley, that's fine. Now, I want to give you a heads up. If you just joined us, just starting your drive, might want to adjust your commute time in the car. The volume pretty much everywhere is way up, and especially Santa Monica Freeway 4 to crawl all the way out. All directions heading into downtown Los Angeles, especially North 101 and West 10 is just plain slow. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the Sky.
Good news in Cerritos on the 91 westbound before Artesia Boulevard. The lanes have been reopened. Everything's been finished up here, but your drive still needs to recover from Beach Boulevard. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
iAccident Lawyer, actual client.
I was hit on a motorcycle by a truck, resulting in serious leg injury. My first lawyer downplayed it. Then I called iAccidentLawyer.com. They got me $8 million, bought my first home with cash, and I got savings for the rest of my life. Thank you, iAccidentLawyer.com.
Attorney Robert Koenig, results vary, not a guarantee.
Real estate is one of the most tax-efficient investments and a great way to diversify your portfolio. But the hassles and costs of managing properties is about as much fun as having a root canal. Hi, Greg Hughes here with Hughes Private Capital, a real estate investment company. We pay our investors a set monthly income which is backed by the strength and safety of our portfolio of over 1,000 homes in the most stable real estate markets in the U.S. And the best part? You won't have any landlord frustrations or expenses. And talk about tax-efficient investment. Most of our investors don't pay taxes for the first 9 years of their investment with us. We also offer a 1031 exchange option where you can sell your investment property tax-free and become an investor with Hughes Private Capital. And with today's interest rates being so low, now's the best time to leverage your investment and earn a 17% return. To find out more, go to nolandlordproblems.com. That's nolandlordproblems.com. Or call us at 888-300-9393. That's 888-300-9393.
Hey, it's Gary Hoffman. Let's talk about your Medicare coverage. Are you new to